doesn't work. Cool. All right. Dom. What's up? My bad. My apologies.
Not even a countdown. Not even. Dumb. Oh, we're starting.
My Barbara Walters just kicks in sometimes, and I'm like, I just want to start talking.
Yeah.
No. We're now. It's literally starting now.
Okay.
Although what I typically do is when I hit the record button, I like B-roll stuff.
Yeah.
B-roll's great.
Oh, of course.
You know that your whole life is now a B-roll.
Essentially.
Essentially.
Yeah.
So
when you put it that way.
in like the best way possible. Like it's panned out for some good.
Yeah, it's pretty surreal, honestly. But it's like for a good reason.
Yeah. We'll get into that. So first and foremost, to everyone that's watching this, if you don't know who Dom is, there's two I've come out with like two things. It's like you either live under a rock and you don't have any cellular reception, or you refuse to pay for like subscription-based like content, and more specifically Netflix. But like that's it. Well, if anything, Dom, welcome home.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome home.
It feels good to be home.
No, it does. It's great to have you here. Like I literally wanted to hit you up while you're in LA.
Yeah.
But things happen and we have you here now.
Yeah.
So like welcome.
It's crazy to be back because like I literally have not been in Toronto since the show came out.
Yeah.
And it sucks because it's like there are certain things I wanted to do in Toronto that like when the peak of everything was going on, I wanted to be here for.
Yeah.
Like those like I wanted to be like Wonderland.
Yeah.
I wanted like a day at Wonderland. I want to shut down Wonderland right now. Like,
Dude, that would be live. That would be imagine just having like Dom just be like, look, we're doing this. Or anyone in general just be like, hey, everyone that wants to go to Wonderland that knows me or that just wants to be there,
Yeah.
reach on this date.
Yeah.
It's ours.
Yeah, at that
Rides
moment.
for everyone, entrance for
Yeah.
everyone. Like, let's fucking do this.
Or like
I
just
swore.
or just like being able to like walk through the C&E and like people know who you are. It's like that little like that hometown
Yeah.
feeling as like a kid that like you always dream of.
Yeah.
And like it's not like I'm not like Justin Bieber or anything like that, but it's like to be able to like the same place where I like walking through the C&E and telling my friends like, oh yeah, one day we're gonna be this, we're gonna be that, we're gonna be that, and like having that somewhat be for it. Like I remember me and my best friend Hanson, like growing up, we're like we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna do that, and then it's like I went to LA, I came back, and we just went. He was the first person I saw. We went to Yorkdale because I was trying to find some new Air Forces.
Yeah.
And people are stalking me and they're like, can I get a picture? Can I do this? People are looking on their phone to see if it's actually me. My friend Hanson's like, oh, it's him. Like he's getting involved in this stuff, and it's like he's been my best friend since we were 3. We dreamed of this, and it's like, it's crazy, to like be doing that thing now in your hometown. Like I remember we used to like go to the movies here in Yorkdale, and now like I try to go to the movies in Yorkdale, and people are asking me for photos. It's like it's just something that like when you take yourself out of it and you look inside, it's like you're just so grateful that I've been given this opportunity.
Yeah. Well, since all that, like how, and obviously if anyone's watched this, we do a lot of mental health stuff, and Peace Collective as a brand, we really dive into the whole world of mental health, whether it's men's mental health or not. Where are you at with all this? I know obviously it's mad surreal to like walk somewhere and now you're just getting stopped left, right, and center.
Yeah.
But like, where are you mentally with all that since the show, even before and then now?
I think honestly, like leading up to the show, it was like my mental health was pretty bad just because I knew obviously like I know what happens on the show. I know what happens after the show. I know the ramifications of the things that are gonna like snowball effect and happen.
Yeah.
So I was meant to be preparing for that, which no amount of mental preparation can prepare you for a hit reality show. It's just nothing.
Yeah.
But as the show was going on, and it's like you start to realize like the entire world is watching you through this microscope.
Yeah.
It was like I'm watching this show. It's #1 on Netflix. I'm on Twitter. My name is trending on Twitter. People are creating 3-minute long psychoanalysis videos on why I am the way I am. And that does have an effect on your mental health, definitely. But I also realized, this is what I signed up for at the end of the day. I didn't know what extent it was going to be, but it's like I'm the one that signed that contract. I'm the one that put myself out there. and it affected my mental health a lot. But I had to figure out like what do you do about that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I tell you, bro, there were times where like I didn't leave my house. I said no to every podcast, every event. I was like, I'm just gonna stay on this couch.
Yeah.
I don't want to see anyone. And then I remember I had a conversation with my friend Leo, and I just said something like, "Oh, I don't deserve this. I'm unworthy. I'm not ready for this. I'm not this." And he just said to me, he was like, honestly, I love you, but like, I'm sick of hearing that.
Mm.
It's getting old.
Mm.
Like, you're here now.
Yeah.
You're here. Now what?
Exactly.
So that kind of was like, I had to flip the switch a little bit, and especially with my mental health, and it's like, there's a lot of times where it's like, yes, like it's okay to be sad, it's okay to cry, it's okay to be this, it's okay to be through with it. But part of figuring out your mental health is wanting to get better.
Yeah.
Like you can either dwell in it and sit in it, or you can be like, okay, I feel like this. What's the next step though? And that's when I was like, okay, call up Amanda, my therapist. Call up Amanda and start figuring this out, because you can't just sit here and wallow in depression.
Well, I think it's also easier said than done, right? Especially coming from just being on TikTok and like blowing up and doing all this stuff, then being on, I wouldn't say in my head I'm like national television, but you're literally on one of the biggest streaming platforms with now the biggest show, and like imposter syndrome is like such a real thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like how do you like, was it when Leo literally like pretty much gave you that kick in the ass, was like, okay, yeah, I really have to take a look into this, because I know a lot of people still struggle with it regardless of what position they're in life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, what was it for you? Was it that moment?
I think here the tricky thing about imposter syndrome is like, it's like you have to look at yourself and be like, are you an imposter?
Yeah.
And I think, I dealt with imposter for a long time, but it's almost like with some people, and I think with me how it worked is like I did enough things that I can look back on and be like, well, I'm not an imposter.
Yeah.
And it was like 2 years ago, you were in a warehouse, and like like outside looking in, retrospectively, you could be like, oh, this guy just got a chance.
Yeah.
And he just got thrown in here. But it's like, you went on the show, you got this opportunity, the production company liked you, they put you on another show, you were able to take Cry on TV and work with an amazing brand like Peace Collective, get clothing out, the nail polish out, your own podcast. Like, you're doing something at this point. Are you an imposter? And it's like, no.
Yeah.
I am doing this. And I think for a lot of people, it's a real thing, but you have to take a look at yourself. It's like, are you an imposter though?
Yeah.
And realizing like it's okay to. It's one thing to be humble, but it's okay to also be confident and look in the mirror and be like, no, you did that thing. I think that's like, it's easier said than done, obviously, but you have to be in order to get better, you have to look at yourself and be like, I can do this.
Yeah.
The first step to get better is wanting to get better. Because a lot of times, especially when I was at my peak of depression, like years ago, I didn't want help.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as much as I would complain, I didn't want help. If someone offered to help me, I wasn't taking it.
Of course.
Because I was comfortable in being miserable and being depressed.
Yep.
And it wasn't until I was like, I don't want to be depressed anymore. I want to get better. That's when I started accepting help, when I wanted it.
Yeah.
So, but it's different for everybody.
100%.
Obviously.
Well, to that point of you being, for me, like one of the people in the forefront for positive masculinity, whether you had your trials and tribulations at a young age or whatever the case may be, talk me through like how you ended up being one so positive and easier. Not so much just so positive, but like be able to put yourself out there, whether it's through your TikToks where you'll literally wear a skirt or even makeup or getting your nails done. Like, how did you get to the point where you're like, nah, F that. Like, this is who I am. This is what I do. And like, was it your upbringing? Was it things in the past that made you so comfortable in that light?
I think it's, it's one thing. I think I just like growing up, my mom was hard-headed and stubborn. I think I got that from her. And I think, growing up, the more you tell me not to do something, the more I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Shout out to moms, by the way.
Yeah, shout out to moms. And I remember I used to get bullied for painting my nails, and people would be like, oh, you're a girl or you're gay or you're this and you're that. And I realized I can either go one or two ways with it. I can either change who I am, or I might as well just lean into it because I'm getting bullied for it anyways. Why would I? If I change up, they're right.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? If I stay true to what I'm doing, it's like it's like I'm just being me. And I think I just kept that mentality all through my entire life. It was like, if you tell me I can't do something, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
You know, if I want to do it, I'm gonna do it. And then when it came to putting myself out there with the TikToks and everything, it originally started as just like a social anxiety kind of practice of like talking to the camera and being like, oh, if I talk to the camera more, it'll be a way for me to deal with my social anxiety. Because leading up to the show, I was like, I just want to be able to be more social.
Yeah.
And talking to the camera was a way for me to practice that. But then I started seeing the reaction of people seeing me be myself.
Yeah.
And say like, oh, because you're so unapologetically yourself, it makes me want to be myself.
Yeah.
Because you did this, it makes me feel comfortable doing this. And that's when I realized the impact of, you know, when you're silent, you're denying others the benefit of knowing they're not alone. And then once I realized that, I was like, oh, this is helping people.
Yeah.
Oh, when I have these thoughts, other people have these thoughts too. So it was just like every day I was like, I have to post, I have to post, I have to post, I have to post, because who knows who's going through it on this day and needs to hear this thing so that they feel less alone.
Yeah, 100%. And what's crazy is that there's one fan, person, kid, or even mom that was like, hey, my kid loves you because you are wearing a skirt in this picture.
Yeah.
Like that's one video, or that's one person that sticks out of my mind that you affected in one of the most positive ways. And there's a lot of them, right? It's hard to just pinpoint all of them, but like one that sticks out is like, yo, there's this little boy that got bullied for wanting to wear a skirt or a dress or whatever the case may be, and like you're out here, a grown ass man, doing his thing.
Yeah.
Being unapologetically him. Right.
That's the craziest thing to like. The crazy thing to me is like when a mom messaged me and they're like, hey, my kid wanted to wear nail polish, but they didn't make fun of his school, so I showed them your TikToks and look at this, and then they sent me a picture of like this kid with all his nails done, and I'm like, badass, man.
Yeah.
Like,
and you're doing something right. Like I think that's the craziest thing, because like you think you're just affecting people around our age or even just a little bit younger. But for the fact that a mom could be like, look at this great example of a man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of someone who's unapologetically themselves and is like just out here doing his thing.
Yeah,
And
but it
it's
gets me
amazing.
so, because it's like you have to, like, I think about that, like, if I'm that kid, and it's like, that kid is like, he's so scared to do what he wants to do. Like, to the point, like, he's like, Mom, I want to do this thing, but I'm going to school, and the kids are making fun of me. I don't want to do this thing.
Yeah.
And then he saw me.
Yeah.
And was like, oh, I'm gonna give it to him at school. Oh, they gonna see.
Oh, y'all don't know who Dom is?
You don't know Dom? I'm finna eat like Dom. Like, to me, that is like the craziest, dopest thing. It's like, because I hate the fact that it's like initially, it's like, I hate the fact this kid feels scared to be himself.
Yeah.
But this kid then saw a photo or a video of me, and that gave him the confidence to be himself, to go to school the next day and be like, yo, check out my nails, guys.
Exactly.
And then all his friends are like, those nails are pretty sick.
That's
And now
pretty
him and
fire
all his
nails.
boys are wearing it. It's like, that small little change is so fucking dope to me, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what just keeps me pushing, and it makes me want to just like keep going, and like, because there has to be that person that like goes over that hill and takes those arrows and can come over and be like, hey, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
when I put on the skirt or I put on nail polish, or I put on a crop top, put on makeup, and there's some kid looking, and he's like, that's like girly, like I kind of want to do that. Then he goes through the comments and he sees people being like, yo, this is fire, this is fire. He's like, this guy's pretty cool though, like I can do, and then they start doing it. It's like, it's like, that's what being an influencer is. Like, it's making actual impact. It's more than just discount codes and going to events and red carpets. It's like, that's what you're supposed to do with these eyes that are on you. That's the change. That's what legacy is. That's the difference between fame, clout, and making an actual change in someone's life.
And I think that's the biggest, well, you said it best, where it's like that's the biggest definition or even difference when you're an influencer versus being influential.
Yeah.
Right? I think everyone, like even I, don't necessarily agree with the term of being an influencer, and I hate it when it's being you, like when people are like, "Hey man, you're an influencer." I'm like, "Nah, not really. I know that I'm influential because of the things that I say, and it affects them deeply. That's what I enjoy. I
Yeah.
don't. It's not like I'm not out here being like, give me all the brand sponsorships. Like I want all of this.
Yeah.
I can care less. Like the main goal originally, I think for everyone and everything, at the most wholesome point or the most real point is like I just want to help people. I just want
Yeah.
to put a smile on someone's face.
Yeah.
If someone can do that from something that I said or how I look or how I act, then I'm good.
Yeah.
Like it's all good,
Yeah.
right? I'm gonna run it back to the show real quick and like everything that happened with Netflix, even with like even TikToks and everything. Like, what was the impression or reaction that the friends, the family, everyone that either one that you told one on one, like I've seen the reaction video that you did with your mom,
Yeah.
dope. But like with everyone else that just got wind that you're gonna be on a Netflix show, starting with The Mole and then Perfect Match, what was everyone's reaction like?
Well, because of NDAs, nobody knew
Yeah, of
until
course.
until it
Yeah,
came
yeah, yeah.
out, until like it got announced.
Yeah.
The only people that knew originally who also signed NDA was my best friend Hanson
Yeah,
and my mom.
yeah,
And they were just like, I remember I had to quit my job to do it, and because it was like 10 weeks of filming, and my mom was like so supportive. She was like, "You have to do this," and my mom was like, I remember my mom and my best friends were like, "All you need is 15 minutes."
yeah.
They were like, "For goodness, just make it past that first episode." And like you just need 15 minutes of people seeing your face, and I promise you, like people will fall in love with you. And that's like what my mom, because I was like, I was all over. I was like, I didn't know what I was gonna do in my life. I didn't know, and they were like, "You just need 15 minutes," and they were just so supportive from the jump. And when it got announced, everyone was just, I think everyone has seen me work so hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even on TikTok.
Yeah.
Because I was doing TikTok before all that stuff came out. People
Yeah.
have seen me sleep on couches. People have seen me in the gym doing the lives.
Yeah, I know.
People have seen my crib and, my car. I've been on lives and then TikToks when my car broke down and I couldn't afford my brakes and I'm doing lives and my car's screeching. So it's like, I think when people saw me like on the Mole, they were like, it wasn't like a surprise. It was like, yes.
Finally.
It was like, finally, he's got something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I think it just amplified with the dating show. I think that's why people connected so much because it's different when like you just see somebody just appear on a reality show.
Yeah.
But it's like I was like that rare case of somebody who like people already kind of knew.
Yeah, you're not necessarily the fresh new face. You're a face that we recognize and we know pretty much like if you follow him as this, you know how he is deep down. And like there's that visceral connection already.
Yeah, I think people had that because it was like there was even a visceral connection with my followers when I got announced for the dating show because they were like, "Yo, what?" Like, you know what I mean? Like people were like, they were like, it was jokingly, but they were so like, "You're the internet's boyfriend. Like, how could you go on a dating show?" Blah blah. And because I had like 800,000 followers going into Perfect Match, so it was like I kind of had these people that had my back. So when they saw me go through what I went through on the show, it was like, it's like I think they felt like we know this guy.
Yeah.
Why is he going through? Why is he? They had this visceral connection.
This is our guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and then when I won, it was like this like rejoice of like,
of course,
our guy won.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So it's been nothing but like obviously there's been some negativity from people that don't know me, but it's been such overwhelming positivity because it feels like people grew up with me in a sense and saw me start from zero to everything that's happening now.
Well, your flowers are well deserved. Like one watching you, especially like knowing you from high school, right? Knowing you from high school, and not even. I'm not gonna even front. We're like, oh, we were best friends in high school. It wasn't even like that. It was like I knew you.
Yeah.
I knew of you. We both danced essentially amongst the same groups, the same circles.
Yeah.
If you don't know, Dom dances. Like he's a dope ass break dancer.
I don't know if my joints can keep up anymore. I was young. I was young. I was like 16.
Yeah, but we were all out here, and it was fun. Like those times were fun,
Yeah.
right? But like also then seeing you grow as a creator because you're also not just a content creator, you're also a musician, right? So quickly, for people that don't know the musician side of you, like what is that? Who is Don't Call Dom and the band in itself?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's funny because like the band was also kind of started through like mental health.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I started with my friend Keegan, and we actually lived together before we started the band. both of our exes were best friends, and we lived together. And then
Dope. You like that?
but we didn't talk to each other because it was like this thing of like, because our exes were best friends,
Yeah.
they spoke about us to each other.
Yeah.
So when his ex would be going through something, she would tell my ex, who would tell me, and be like, "Oh, Keegan did this. You won't be able to get." And then it was the reverse on his end. So we didn't talk to each other because we were like, "I don't know if you're a good dude. I don't know. My girl's telling me otherwise." So he broke up with his girl, and I broke up with my ex, and I put out this short film about mental health.
Yeah.
It was like 10 minutes that I did with Justin Manabat, because I lost my friend to mental health and to suicide. He ended up killing himself, and that had a big toll on me during quarantine, losing my friend, and kind of having to like rediscover who I was through that. And not to make it about me, but it was just like this point of like, he was always that person that was always so happy. And he was the last person, like when I found out he killed himself, I was like no.
Yeah.
Like I would have known. Like like how alone he must have felt, and like it was almost like the survivor's guilt that I kind of had, because like we both had the same upbringing, we both had the same situation at home, we grew up in the same neighborhood, and it was like why?
Yeah.
You know, like what is it? And it kind of messed with my head. And at that point I realized, you know, and then I reached a low point in my life where I was gonna, you know, I had those thoughts as well.
Of course.
And I remember going to his funeral and seeing, I'm going on a tangent here, sorry.
Go on a tangent.
But I remember I went to his funeral and I saw his mom and I saw his little brother. And I hugged his mom, hugged his little brother, and then I was like, I have a mom. Like, I have a little brother. You know what I mean? And I saw a way that affected them. And it made me realize, when you don't have a reason to keep going, you're somebody else's reason to keep going.
Yeah.
You know, and that really like just opened my mind up, and I was like, I have to share that with the world. So I told Justin about that, and we made this film just talking about mental health and spreading that message. And then Keegan saw that and was like, yo, I feel the exact same way.
Yeah.
The same thing I was talking about earlier, how like when you're silent, you're denying others the benefit of knowing they're not alone. Keegan felt the same way and was like, hey, do you want to come over, just hang out and make music? And he came over, we talked about what we've been going through mentally, emotionally, and we just became brothers overnight. And we made this song, and he was like, yeah, you could just add me as a producer. I was like, no, we made this together. Like,
Yeah, this is an us thing.
This is us. Like, you're my brother. And yeah, that's how the band started. And yeah, that's like, it's crazy thinking about how that started and where we're at now. But
Growth, evolution, and
yeah,
like, I think that's the craziest part about life, is that it's like where we start from and how we, like, what kind of forces us to evolve to who we are now, and just never forgetting all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because you can't, like that, like for people that are like, oh, I gotta forget the past, and you can't forget the past.
And like believing in yourself too. Like I remember like talking to him like, we're gonna be a band, we're gonna be big. And this is before I got offered anything. I was like, we're gonna be big, we're gonna do this, we're gonna make songs. We were in the studio eating peanut butter jelly, like sandwiches. I'm talking like with Jaden, our drummer, and we're doing live drums. I remember I sat them down. I don't know what I was saying. I just say things sometimes, right? Without even thinking about it. But I said to them like, yo, we're gonna play Coachella 1 year. 2 years, 3 years max, we're gonna play Coachella. And they're like, what? I was like, if you guys promise me to quit your jobs and do this, we're gonna go to Coachella. And then they're like, okay. They quit their jobs, and I'm like, shit.
No.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
All right, yo, Coachella.
All right. So new game plan.
Y'all find jobs again. Ask for your jobs back, and we can try to figure Coachella out.
No,
Yeah.
But like, it was like we made this commitment, and it was like the universe just brought it back to me, and it was like a few months later, it was like I went to them like, hey guys, I'm gonna be on Netflix.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
We gonna be all right.
Yeah.
And then the shows come out and the streams get boosted up and songs are hitting 50,000 streams and
Boom, we love it.
people are hitting us like, yo, can you play here? Can you play this? Can you do this? Like we're playing a tour right now. Like, and I'm like, I told y'all, I knew this was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like,
this is the road to Coachella.
yeah,
This is the road.
This is the road. But it was like believing in, like, that is like blindly believing in yourself, which I feel like you don't get that often.
No, you don't.
You know, and I think I would like to think like I put the work in, but I was like, I believed in myself so much. I was like, when I was depressed, I was like, I'm going to get better. No matter what it takes, I am going to I was like, I sacrificed going out so that I can go to therapy. I was like, I'm going to get better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Once I got better, it was like, I am going to be somebody. I'm going to achieve this thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to make music. I'm going to, and it's like, it was like, you can say it, but it was like, yo, I truly believe that shit.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me that like, it's like now I've been on 2 Netflix shows. It's like walking into like the Netflix building.
Yeah.
And someone being like, "Oh, hey, what's going on, Dom?" The fuck?
Yeah. Sorry, you're who again?
Yeah.
My apologies. I just got here.
But just like it's just crazy because it's like I want to tell everybody. I'm
Yeah.
like, yo, you can like just use me as an example.
Yeah.
Just use me as an example. I was down bad, broke as hell, depressed, anxious, ADHD, sitting in my car for 3 hours at a time making TikToks. Like I didn't know what I was going to do, but if I flipped a switch and I was like, no, you can do this.
Yeah.
You're gonna figure this out.
Yeah.
And it's like within a year, everyone at the Netflix office at Sunset knows who I am.
Yeah.
Like that is something I like. I tell everyone like, you can do that.
Yeah.
I'm the prime example.
Yeah.
I am not an industry plant.
Yeah.
I am
Yeah,
not
yeah.
somebody who like you can. There's a full track record
Yeah.
of where I started
Yeah.
and everything I've been through to now. Like all my TikTok is my goddamn documentaries. Like
Yeah.
you can do that. So I don't know what that was all about, but
But it is what it is.
but it is what it
And
is,
you
and
heard
hopefully
it.
you learned something from that
Exactly.
tangent I went on.
Well, you're welcome.
I tend to do that.
Oh no, Don doesn't talk. He doesn't get that from his mom. What are you talking about?
Yeah, nah, yeah. Sometimes, yeah.
You know where it came from. So like, no. Okay.
The
We're-
Adderall is wearing off.
Hey, whoa!
Whoa! It's fun times.
It is. So as we quickly wind down, I want to quickly ask. Obviously, you did this dope ass collection with Peace Collective. That's us. Where does Boys Cry come from? Where does this stem from? Why Boys Cry?
Man, I cried on the show.
Yeah.
No, in all seriousness, I think I've always been somebody that's been like very emotional and very vulnerable. That's just like who I've always been.
Nah, for real.
All right, man, cool. You didn't have to add ad libs. We're not
Yes,
the
you
Migos. Yeah.
Drip.
No, I've always been like that person that's always been vulnerable. I've always worn my heart on my sleeve. And when I was on the show, it was like that version of me was on display for everybody. And I'll never forget, like somebody said to me, was like, or made mention of like on the show, it was like, oh, I overheard it was like, oh, but Dom's a crybaby, or Dom's, whatever, he gets nailed when he's a crybaby. And I was like, oh, okay. And then it just like, something just snapped in me and I was like, own it.
Yeah.
And I remember I got back and I got a tattoo in my tattoo. What do you want? And I got the little angel with the broken heart, and I got crybaby tattooed on my.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just gonna own it.
Yeah.
I was like, I cried in front of the entire world. I knew what people were. I knew there was gonna be some sort of reaction to it.
Yeah.
I knew that was gonna be, they were gonna lead all that a cliffhanger, and I just remember thinking like you ever watch like 8 Mile?
Yeah.
When like Eminem was trailer park.
Yeah.
Guys sleeping with his girl. He just went through it in that movie, and then he had the opportunity the last battle to go first.
Yeah.
So he just took shots at himself.
Yeah.
He just made fun of himself the
Yeah,
whole,
yeah, yeah.
and then the other person couldn't say anything.
Yeah.
That's a superpower.
Yeah.
If I can be vulnerable and have these moments and be emotional and before anyone got the chance to say anything about it, it was like, yeah, that's who I am.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, but you're a cry. Yeah. And now what?
Yeah.
Where do we go from here?
Yeah.
And then they're like, you're not upset about that? No, I am. I actually got a tattoo right here.
Yeah.
And it's like, they don't know what to do with themselves. They don't know what to do with themselves. So it's like, and I think that's something that a lot of people resonated with.
Yeah.
In that moment was like that unapologetic vulnerability. So you know, when Peace Collective reached out to me and was like, hey, we want to work with you guys, I was like, yep. I remember like looking in the mirror and I was like, what about Crybaby?
Yeah.
And then yeah, and admittedly so, y'all kind of carried the torch there with the designs and everything like that. I would, I don't want to get it twisted. Like I was out here like on a drawing board on a blueprint. I was like Peace Collective definitely carried the torch when it came to that.
No, but it came from somewhere. It started with you, right? And yeah, sure, the team like Sema and Matt like killed it, right?
Yeah.
But it started with you. It had to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Right? So thank you for that blessing to begin with.
No, I think it was a beautiful moment. And I think it was a message that like a lot of people resonated with, and a lot of people, even when it dropped, and it was such a surreal feeling of like people ordering it and taking screenshots and being like, just oh my boys cry baby, blah blah. And it was like people are literally buying a shirt with a design with like my tattoo, like, and with a message that matters, and people are asking me like, do you have onesies that I can get for my for my son, or and it's like, it was wild, it was crazy, and it was really amazing to be able to have that moment on television, have people have such a genuine connection to it that they could relate to, and then be able to also work with a company that also believes in what I believe in mental health awareness, and to give back to the community, give back to the people that resonated with it, and also just have a dope ass product. So
shout out to the merch.
Shout out to the merch, man. You know what I'm saying? PeaceClub.com.
Backslash Don't Call Dom, or is it Dom and Gabriel? Whatever it is, you can find it on the website.
Yeah, link in bio.
Link in bio.
50% off.
Whoa! 15% off if you were at the store today. We did a little meet and greet.
Oh yeah, not online. That's like if you ever watch The Other Guys? The movie The Other Guys with Will Ferrell?
Is that Will Ferrell? And yeah.
Yeah, there's like a scene when they're like all celebrating. They're like, free hot dogs for everyone. Everyone's like, yeah, like no drinks. I can't do drinks. Can't do drinks.
Hot dogs, no drinks.
Yeah.
Dry ass hot dogs, condiments. That's where you get your.
Yeah.
All right. Well, to wind this down, the last thing I want to ask you is, well, first off, with your affinity with music, you having Don't Call Dom, and you just being an overall genuine person, a very authentic human being, I wanted to play a little game of song association or word association.
Oh God. Oh.
Right.
Man.
So I'm gonna throw a couple words at you, and I want you to tell me the first song that comes to mind for each either feeling or emotion. You could do shameless plugs of being like, my shit, or it could be
this is gonna go
I love
left.
T Swift.
This is gonna go left so fast.
Well, let's see what
happens.
happens.
I'm so bad at this.
All right, so the first word is, take my trusty dusty phone out. The first word is love.
Ooh. I like because you said Taylor Swift, a love story immediately comes to mind. But I'm gonna say Story of Us.
Story of Us by
Taylor Swift.
Oh.
Speak Now. Taylor's version.
Oh, you have to, because if you don't, then you're Scooter. Well, it's not.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about the OG version.
Exactly. Depressed.
Oh, All Along by Kid Cudi.
You a big Cudi fan still?
Oh yeah, I cried when I saw him in Chicago like a month ago. Yeah.
Was he playing his all his OG stuff?
Yeah, he was playing his mixtape. He played The Prayer, which I cried to. He went through like all different eras of Kid Cudi, but I would definitely say All Along by Kid Cudi. That was a song when I was like depressed that I would listen to all the time.
Disgust.
Disgust?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Tyler the Creator, Yonkers.
And we talking more specific because of the Roach scene.
Yeah, that's where my mind instantly went to.
Yeah, okay,
yeah,
I get
puke.
that.
I don't know why. It's a great song. It's just like that's
100%.
that's just where it went.
That's where I went with that song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last one. I have Shame on here, but I want to just make it light, a little happy.
Okay.
What do you think about what song comes to mind when you feel happy?
Oh, what? Natasha Bedingfield, Unwritten. Every time. Natasha Bedingfield, Unwritten.
Because the rest is still
Unwritten. Yeah, that's my go. That's yeah.
But also shout out to The Hills, because for the longest time, up till the last episode, I thought that shit was real until they did the whole pan out, and I'm like, my heart was broken. But Natasha Bedingfield.
We don't talk about that. But yeah, that song will always specifically. This is so corny. There's a remix to Unwritten to Happier by Bastille,
Okay.
and like it's like unwritten over the Happier beat. Do you know that song?
Nope.
You'll be happier.
Oh, that's the,
You'll be
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
happier. That Natasha Bedingfield unwritten
On top of
vocals over that. Instant serotonin. Whenever I'm sad, I put that SoundCloud mix on, and it hits like no other. Yeah, that goes crazy. Also, Hillary Duff Metamorphosis goes crazy. And This Is Me by Camp Rock. Those are all happy songs. Those are all songs that I listen to. That just like,
that, the audience approves.
yeah.
They
This
get
is
it.
real. This is me. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be now. Gotta let the light shine on me.
There we have it, y'all. That's an exclusive from Dominic Gabriel.
Camp Rock, man.
Camp Rock.
This is me.
Dom.
Hillary Duff Metamorphosis also. We can go all day.
No, we
I have
can't.
I have a playlist called I Got Abdominals. It's my workout playlist that has all those bangers on it, man. Goes crazy. Goes crazy. Hillary Duff. Also, Lindsay Lohan, Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. Underrated, but that theme song goes crazy. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
And here's the thing, that's not a joke either. This is very real.
No, like I said, this is all documented. This is what I listen to like build Victorious. Fuck with Victorious.
I never watched Victorious growing up.
Victorious, you'll be begging on your knees. You'll be begging on your knees for me. No?
No.
Victorious also goes crazy. What else goes crazy? Oh my God. Zoe 101 theme song?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You see the Zoe 102?
Oh, Hannah Montana, Rockstar. Nobody's perfect. No, underrated Hannah Montana song. If we were a movie, that shit slap, bro. If we were a movie, you'd be the right guy. I'd be the best friend that you fall in love with in the end. That shit go. Anyways, I'm so sorry.
Don't be.
I could keep going for.
No, I love this.
Yeah.
I
Hannah
love
Montana or Miley Cyrus?
Hannah Montana.
Good answer.
Wait, why? Break that down. What's wrong with Miley? Miley just tried to keep it cool for her pops and everyone else.
No. Wait, are you talking about?
Are you talking about the TV show? Or are you talking about like?
No, I'm talking about like Miley Cyrus' discography versus Hannah Montana's discography.
Oh, Hannah Montana still.
Yeah, I'm taking Hannah Montana. And my reasoning for that is because Hannah Montana, right? People don't realize every season she put out an album.
Yeah.
Every season of Hannah Montana has a Hannah Montana album, and the album is full of hits. How were you acting on a family show? Also, Miley Cyrus, she also put out "Party in the USA." You know what I'm saying? But also, you put out an album full of bangers every season and perform them in the show within context. Crazy.
Honestly, who I'm waiting for mostly for that stuff is Lil Dicky. I don't know if you've ever watched Dave.
Oh, Dave.
I enjoy Dave. The thing is, seems just as dry on the show as he is in real life. And like, you really need to understand that type of comedy or that type of person. But on the flip side, all the bangers that happen throughout the show have never been really put out. And like, I'm waiting for that stuff to drop. Like, that's a me thing. I don't know if you ever watched Dave.
No, I love Dave. I love that song, the Ali song. And I miss you, Ali.
Ali. Oh, Ali. I thought it was Ali's song.
No, it's Ali's song, but he like, and I miss you, Ali, to like the tone.
Yeah.
Ooh, ooh. Like I like those songs.
Season 1.
But however, Lil Dicky could never be Hannah Montana.
No, you're right.
So
That's true.
that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Those Disney kids were eating, man. For real.
Actually, no, they weren't. If you heard. Oh no, that's Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon, they weren't eating. I don't know if you heard. If you were the head of that show, you were making a lot of money.
No, you know what I heard? That's kind of makes sense. Is like so. This does not have to be aired at all.
All right, shoot. Well, I think that's the end of this combo. Everyone else is on their phones. Well, I'm going to hold up for 2 seconds. With that being said, give it up for Dom, everyone. Dom, thank you very much for literally doing this conversation with me, man.
No, thank you for having me, man.
Literally long overdue.
No,
I'm
it
glad
really
you can
is.
come kick it.
Yeah, I'm kind of mad you didn't take it deeper. You didn't like twist the knife on me.
We can get there.
I want to have one of those moments you ask me a question, I just walk off. You know, like, what is this? What happened? What is this?
We actually have the people from Netflix in the back right now, just waiting for me to drop that one question.
Yeah.
You ready for this? Are you ready for it? No, I don't think we're ready for it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you, and everyone here. Thank you so much.
Love you guys.
Hey, Dom.